Good morning, Janet here with Janet's Quilt Shop. Well, it's time for Monday morning tidbit, and I've got a good one for you too. It is one that I have really enjoyed, and you're going to like it too. I'm going to talk about a new pattern that I have, and I can make it over and over and over. And I very rarely say that because most of the time I'm one and done. But this one I really like. Look at this pattern. It's called Pumpkin Patches, and I'm going to show you the quilt behind me. Look at this. Look at this quilt, how fun that is. And if you don't recognize it, this fabric is Tilda fabric. If you don't know Tilda, it's something that's been new to our area, but people have really been buying the fabric. And this has squirrels in it, birds, there's a field mouse in here, over here, and it's just got some really pretty fall looking colors in this bundle. It's called Hibernation by Tilda. And then I took it and did these pumpkins like the pattern. Is that not cute? You could do this in one afternoon probably. If you had it cut out, you could sew it together in one afternoon. It is so fun. It's a large lap quilt, and I really enjoyed making this. Let me show you about what we have to do it with. You would need the pattern, of course, and on the back it tells you need 10 assorted fat quarters if you want to do it that way. And you will need 38 10-inch squares if you do it that way. Or you could do assorted 5-inch squares, 120 of those. But it really worked well with this fat quarter bundle that I have here. And this is that Hibernation. Let me show you. Let me pull one out of the middle here that is so cute. All these are cute. These are the blues. There's greens. There's brown tones. Let me just try to pull the one off the top so I can put it back. No, let's do a blue. You know how I love blue. Let's do a blue. I can get that back. Okay, look at this fat quarter. This is so cute. This is my favorite, of course. It's blue. It's got the squirrels in it. Look at those squirrels. Aren't they so cute? They are so cute in there. So you see them in the quilt behind me quite a bit. But that's a fat quarter. This bundle is a fat quarter bundle, Hibernation by Tilda. And I have a few of these in the store left. There's a couple here. And one of these would make a great big quilt. Or you could make the one behind me and have some left over. This one is Fat 8. It's also the Hibernation, the very same thing. But it's half the size of the fat quarter. And this would also make this. And then if you didn't want to do the Tilda, you could also use one of these. This is a good fall line. It's really got some pretty oranges and fall colors in here. Browns and greens. And this is the Bountiful Blooms, and I really like that for a fall quilt. And so one of these layer cakes would make this. Now, it's not talking about your background and your pumpkins. You'd have to get that extra. But for your other fabrics, this would work. There's also another one here. Peachy Keen would be nice. It would change the look totally, but it would be so pretty in there. So there's just a couple things. And then the Hibernation that I think would work good for this quilt. Let me show you the pattern. This is one of the easiest patterns I've worked with that allows you to do it quickly and just stress-free. I just sit and just chain sewed. It was so relaxing. The biggest thing that stresses me sometimes is figuring out where I don't want other colors touching. And I should just let it go and just sew as it comes up. I know I should, but I can't do it. I have to watch and not get two colors together. So, depends on how much you want to stress over that. The cutting directions, it has a chart here to show you on the fat quarter bundles. And then it has, your list of what to cut. Very easy there. Background, everything to cut. You get it all cut. And then it shows you diagram by diagram. If you're like me, you like pictures. And you can read this, but you can also make this just probably by looking at the pictures. So you start the pumpkin. You do the pumpkin and you sew the 4 corners. And put the squares on the 4 corners. And then you've got your stem. And I did that out of a brown grunge, which the tones look so good with it, I think. And you do the strips on the sides of it, sew that on top of your pumpkin. And then to make the whole complete block, you've got the strips of your background fabric with just a square in the corner. So let me show you the block. The block of the pumpkin is this right here. You see, you're going to have this right here as your block. The squares in the corner is the corner of the block of the pumpkin. So you're going to make these 15 of those. Just 15 in this whole quilt of those. Starting with that square, this square. You know, if you had a line to draw around, that's your square. Okay, so you make 15 pumpkin blocks. So that finishes those out right there. And then you start with the other block. Let me show you it finished. Here it is finished. And it's very peculiar, unusual block. But this guides you through exactly how to assemble it. And let me show you where it is. Okay, so it goes right here. You've got big squares in the corner. Those are your 5-inch squares that are in the corner. In between that, you have one of those squares in the middle, but then you have 2 small squares sewed to a background strip. 2 small squares to a background. There, here, here, and here. So 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 of those. So when you lay it out, you out with your 4 corners of your big squares. And then you have the section that lays in between. So you do a row here, a row here, and a row here. Sew those together and that's your block. You have 15 of those, 15 of these, and that's all there is to the quilt. Now, when you go to lay it out, I had to lay mine out several times. I see 2 colors here that are close to the same. Was almost impossible to get it totally separated. But I tried to fussy cut as much as I could and get an animal in the middle. This squirrel, I just see his tail, but most of them, like that, look at that squirrel right there. You can see him right in the middle of the square. There's a squirrel, there's a bird in the middle of that one, bird. The mice are so cute. They're all tucked in their tail, and I just know they have to be field mice. There's acorns in here that are pink. I don't know if you can see those in the camera, but I love this quilt. It was so much fun. I'm definitely keeping this one. I went back with the same brown grunge I used on the stem and did the binding with it. And then on the back, I just did a light cream swirl, tone on tone, basically, on the lining fabric. But the quilting is done. It is a log look, a woodland look. And so we turn it sideways to quilt it on our computer machine and do it in rows. But I hope you can see that. I like that for this because we're talking about, you know, wildlife in a wildlife quilt. It looked good over the pumpkins, I thought, too. And almost gave them some grain in the pumpkin. But anyway, I hope you like that as much as I do. I have quite a few of these patterns. All you have to do is come by and get it. Put your own fabric in it. Buy the hibernation line as long as they last. We have quite a few of those, but as long as they last. And look at the fat quarters or some of the other fat quarter bundles or some of the layer cakes and see what you think. But you probably wouldn't be able to get a pumpkin done by Thanksgiving. But if you get this done and quilted, you'll have it for next year. And I plan, you may see mine hanging up again because I plan on hanging on that and having it. I really do like it. Okay, that's my tidbit for today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave me notes or come by the shop and visit with us. Thank you and have a great day.